There we go. All right. Well, it's 2 hours UTC, and it is once again time for Astronomy Daily Live. So welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Everything is pretty good here. Yeah, nothing incredibly exciting here. Well, a little bit of excitement, but I'll sort of get into that a little bit as we gather together here. I like to sit here and babble for a little while and let everybody who is sort of gonna come on in. So I already see that Carolina Sky Astronomy is in the chat. So hey, everything's good. Everything's good. Yeah. So still got some high thin clouds here. Definitely not clear. Relatively warm though, nice and warm. But yeah, clear in the opposite sense. So yeah, just not too good for any kind of obs sessions or anything like that, but that's all right. I'm when you're doing astronomy, you've got to be patient. You've got to be patient, or just choose a different wavelength, right? If I was completely into radio astronomy, I wouldn't care if it was clear or cloudy or day or night, right? The sky is completely dark. So cool, Jim. So you ordered a new mount. Should be here tomorrow. What kind of mount, and what is this like an improvement on what you have, or is this like a second mount for a second telescope? Give us some details. Yeah. I'm well. At this point, I can only dream, but I would definitely like to get a different mount for this scope too. One that tracks maybe a little bit better, but I can deal with those kinds of things. Anyway, before I get going too far into things, just want to say howdy to Bobby on the panel. Hey, what's going on?
Chuck Dagwam, good evening. Tom Ben Scotter, live long and prosper.
Absolutely.
And the bloody devil's here, Tim Robinson.
The British are invading.
The British are coming, the British are coming, the British are coming, the British are coming.
We're coming to pinch all your limes.
Those red coats are here. All right, very, very cool. Hey Tim, I saw your the video you posted today. Looked really good. Yeah. Do you have a stabilizer on the camera, or I noticed it was a little bit wobbly?
No, on that one it's a fixed camera, and it was quite windy.
Gotcha.
It's a GPS drone, so if the wind blows against it, it will try to hold its position, which means it tilts.
Right, I gotcha.
If I just take it out of GPS, it will be more stable and look more level, but it will drift with the wind.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so there's a balancing act there. So yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway, thank you for that.
Yeah, looked really, really good, and looks like a nice place to spend a childhood, for sure. So I can think of much better or much worse places to spend a childhood. So no,
Tim, that's a recent
really
video.
nice.
I want to see if I can take a look at it.
Yeah, he just posted that today.
Yeah, towards the end, it shows you down the path before I turn right where the dog is. Right at the bottom there was my nana's house, my nana and granddad's, the two most wonderful people on this planet.
Wow.
I used to spend so much time there with them, and then once my nana died, my granddad moved in with my parents. We moved into the house, and we was there for about a year, me and my wife.
Yeah, wow, neat. Neat.
So plenty of good memories there.
Good. Excellent. Those are the nice ones to have then, for sure. For sure. So let's see who else is in the chat. Okay, so Jim is getting a new telescope mount. It's an IEXOS-100 PMC8. Cool. Very, very cool. Well, hope it works out. Hope it does exactly what you want it to do, Jim. Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, yeah.
Pardon me if I look like I'm waving about. I'm swapping YouTube and the Google Hangouts on the two screens.
Gotcha. You are multitasking.
I got the YouTube chat on my phone and the Google Hangouts on my modified Chromebook.
You guys and all of your devices and things. I don't know. I just can't keep up with that kind of stuff.
Actually, before you get going, Matt, I'm actually going to say this really quickly. Hello to everybody in the chat, and it saves me typing.
Yeah, there you go.
And it saves me typing too, being like some kind of a co-host or something.
Yeah, anytime. Like I said, this is not necessarily my platform. This is a conversation for us all. So feel free, to jump in anytime. Talk over me. I'll stop. No problem. So yeah. That we're really loose here. So no problem at all. So yes, cheers. Grab your favorite consumable of choice. I've got the hydrogen hydroxide again here, the HOH.
You know what mine is.
Yes. Excellent.
And
Excellent.
Just tightening up the mic. It's got a bit slack.
yeah.
Oh, better mute it before I do that. It'll rattle like hell.
You've got a flaccid mic there.
Yeah, I need to mute it before I tighten up the nuts on it. It's hanging a bit low.
There's a lot of metaphors in that statement there. So.
I'm looking at your video right now, Tim.
Good. Excellent. All right. Well, so yeah, as some of you know, many of you know, I'm in the process. I've been in the process for quite a while of setting up my telescope system to actually sell telescope time. Right. I've got a great dark site here that is clear very, very often. At least more often than most. It's extremely dark, and I'm gaining confidence in the fact that the kind of data that I can actually, that I can actually collect with this system is scientifically valid, right? You can actually do some good science with that, and so my initial idea was, okay, I'm just gonna sell telescope time, right? If somebody needs some data, I'll collect it, I'll send it to them, done, right? And then I thought, okay, well, who's going to be most interested in this kind of stuff, right? And I think there's sort of two different markets, right? One is professionals, who either can't or won't, or get telescope time on the larger facilities, and they may not actually need a larger facility. The only thing really that a large telescope offers that a smaller one doesn't is you can see fainter objects, right? And also the instrumentation, right? There might be different kinds of instrumentation. I just have a CCD camera on this, so there are only certain things that can be done with CCD cameras and just taking pictures, right? If you had a spectrometer, you could do all of that. If you have a polarimeter, you could get into that. There's all kinds of instrumentation, but the other market.
Just out of curiosity, are you going to be doing some astronomical codes and probably upload them to GitHub or something?
Well, yeah, I'm actually I'm sort of leading into that here. So, Bobby, you are almost reading my mind today. So yeah. Let me. I think I'm soon going to get there, right? So the other relatively large market, I think that would be very, very interested in this kind of data is students, right? All ages, right? They want to do science projects and that kind of stuff, and so most students live in the city where they don't have access to a dark sky, and so it's like, well, hey, here it is, right? So I thought about that, and it's like, well, if we're talking about students and teachers, right, it's definitely not enough to just provide data, right? Because most people don't know what to do with it, right? You look at an image and it's like, what do you do with that, right? So I thought, okay, I'm going to have to create a series of projects that students can do, right? At least suggestions, right? So that
is
sort of
a nice video you got there, Tim Robinson. Very good.
Yep. Yeah, very, very good. Anyway, so
thank you very much indeed, Bobby. Sorry to interrupt, Matt.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt too, but that's okay.
No, please do it. No worries. Anyway, so I thought, okay, I'm going to have to come up with a series of projects, right? I mean, once you have this data, what can you do with it, right? And depending on the object that you are observing, there are a lot of things that can be done, right? Lots and lots and lots of things. So I've started developing that, right? Well, now I've realized that just having a list of projects isn't actually good enough yet, right? What you really also need on top of all that, right, is you need the tools, you need the software tools to process the data, do the analysis, all of that, right? So you've got the data, you've got the project, and now you've got the tools. So I want to say
howdy to Manning.
Yeah. Hey there, Patrick.
Mr. Nice Manny, how the devil are you doing?
Hope everything's well with Patrick there. Very, very cool. Anyway, so the software tools that for a little while was a little bit of a challenge in my head because the tool that I use is called IRAF, right? It stands for Image Reduction Image Reduction and Analysis Facility, IRAF. And IRAF was developed. It was initially developed in the mid '80s or so, and it has become. Well, hey there's Patrick on the panel. Hey, can you hear us okay? Can you see us okay?
How diddly do, Mr. Patrick Mandiddly Annie?
Hey.
I don't have his microphone up yet, or it's muted.
No, he's muted, yeah.
He's muted. Well, Patrick, you chime in whenever you feel like it, for sure.
He was having trouble with his headphones last time round.
Yeah. Technology always bites. Bites.
Especially when the red and black wire touch.
Yes, especially. Anyway, so the astronomical community, the professionals, have used IRAF for decades, right? I mean, at least a few, and a lot of professionals will complain that it was a little bit hard to use, and there was a learning curve, and yada yada, right? And my attitude with that is that, well, if you're not able to use the instrument that you have at hand, maybe you shouldn't be playing, right? I mean, it's a good filter, right? I mean, if you can't play the instrument, then you can't be in the band, right? So it's the same kind of thing. IRAF for sure.
They're getting you to rush it again, huh, Patrick?
He's working on it.
What is smoke in Russia? Why Larry says it's smoke?
What does oh I think he probably knows that.
I had to write it backwards too, because everybody says my camera's backwards to them. So
yeah, that actually that actually looked correct, except for the E in mute.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
And but I thought you did that on purpose.
Nope, quite unintentional, but just shows my brain capacity.
There we
How are
go.
you there, Patrick?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yay.
Welcome, Mr. Patrick.
Patrick Manny, what is going on?
Oh, I don't know. Not much. I was just worrying that the mic might overload, or you might hear a bunch of sounds.
I just don't know how he keeps all those women in the back room so quiet.
I don't know either. It's a mystery. It is definitely a mystery. But yeah. All right, well, cool.
I still want to know, how can you get smoky conditions in Russia?
Huh?
Smoky conditions in Russia? I'm not following you, Bobby. I see. Oh, I see. I gotcha. Yeah. Well, that's a good question, and I don't know, but apparently in Chelyabinsk, right now it is smoky and 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. So it's cold and smoky in Chelyabinsk.
Clear.
Interesting. Interesting. And I don't know why Nightbot would have done that, but apparently it did. So
There I am.
yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. Here, I'll do my yeah, you know, Jim, yeah, you might be right about that. Who knows? Let's see. I'll do mine too here.
Hey, Matt, is it possible to
where's that
voice
CCC?
activate Nightbot?
Is it possible to voice activate Nightbot?
I just wondered out of curiosity.
Hey, Google. Hey, Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I've never looked into that, and yeah, I sort of hope not at the moment. So,
Yeah, because every time somebody says it, ba-ding.
yeah.
Yeah.
And here's another British invader, Andy Calloway.
Andy Cowley.
Andy Cowley, welcome, mate. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm starting to lose more of that too because of the abscess and stuff. The part at the front is about to come out.
Ooh, all right. Well, take care of those kinds of things. Do what you got to do.
I think we better stum and let Matt get on with it.
Yeah, no. I'm good with anything, but so IRAF has been a standard for a long time. Very, very powerful. Very, very awesome. Right? Incredibly awesome.
I want to, Chuck Nagler, may I inquire you where you're at and stuff?
You may.
What's your location is?
You may.
I'm really curious.
Yeah. Always like to know where at least approximately people are from, or currently. Oh, all right, near Waco. All right, cool, excellent.
Yeah, usually Texas.
Yeah. All right, so yeah. So IRAF has been great for a long time, but I actually just heard the other day that the group that has sort of been developing and supporting IRAF is going to sort of let IRAF go. IRAF hasn't had an update in probably maybe five years, maybe even more or so. So when I started noticing that the updates weren't coming, it's sort of like, I wonder what's going on there. And yeah, I think it's kind of official that IRAF is going to be no more, right? And so in terms of all right, there we go, down to the millimeter. We now know exactly where Patrick is.
Yeah.
Cool. Interesting. Yeah, I think what I can do
is, have you ever heard of grid squaring in amateur radio?
The what?
Grid squaring in amateur radio.
Yes.
I think by looking at Patrick's location, I can use called a grid square rotator, so I can find out what his grid square is and stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I'm at about almost exactly a latitude of 32 degrees north, and a longitude of about 100 and almost 110 west, something like that. So yeah, very cool. So anyway, IRAF has sort of been declared dead, which is sad. That's the end of a great era in terms of astronomical software. Like I said, great tool, supported by and used by the Space Telescope Science Institute. They actually developed a whole bunch of external packages, as they called them, and just absolutely great, right? But IRAF is no more. So
yeah. So where Patrick said his grid square locator is Emma Maria 79 Victor Sierra.
Cool. Excellent.
I think mine, let's see.
You can do mine too if you want.
Okay. And I am Echo Lima 49 Inquiry.
Cool. So I'm at 32 north and about 110.
Yeah. Let me give you. I'm going to post the link on the Discord.
Uh-huh.
And you will be able to find out what is your grid square locator at your location.
Cool. Excellent. There we go. Cool. All right. Anyway, so IRAF has been deemed dead. So as far as a tool for future astronomers and students and everybody else to actually use, ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Luckily enough, there is.
Okay, check the Discord, and maybe you might be able to post the same link on the chat for everybody else.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you want to post it in chat, that's cool too.
Yeah, but I'm on the phone for my YouTube and stuff. And it's gonna definitely make it lag.
See how you are? You're gonna make me work, man. All right, I suppose I can work that hard. Let's see. There we go. Just like that. Cool. So, luckily enough, also over the years have been developed other pieces of software, and I've been aware of these for a little while, at least a few of them, but it's like, I've got the best, so why do I want to change, right? I mean, when you've got the best, it's like, nothing else is good enough, right? So I've sort of paid attention a little bit, but not all that much. But now, since IRAF is going away, and I want to be able to have students use some kind of astronomical tool to do the analysis with this data that I'm going to be collecting for them. It's like, okay, what's available now? And it turns out that there's a great project that's actually been, I mean, I've been aware of this for a long time, but they've actually
now we were talking about Texan radios. Yeah, Texan radios are the best. I got the PL380.
Are Texans the best, or are ICOMs the best? I've always I've always heard that
ICOMS
ICOMS
usually makes wideband communication receivers, text and radios. They usually will like to make AM, FM, and shortwave receivers.
Okay, I gotcha. I don't know that much about those kinds of things. I know that my boss has a couple of ICOMs. One is HF, and one is VHF UHF. I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, ICOM, they usually make good transceivers for amateur radio operators.
Yeah, and I think that's actually what he's going to be using it for. His call sign is K7BPT. So you can look that up if you want.
Technician or general, or what level he's at?
I think he went as high as he can go. I don't remember what that's called. What is that called?
Yeah, I think it's usually either extra or advanced.
Yeah, extra. I think he had to take his what is it called? General, and then on the same day he took his extra. So he actually took 2 tests in the same day. He just crammed, you know.
Yeah, that's good for him. Yeah, I wonder what extra does as compared to general and technician level. I know technician level, the lowest you go is around 10 meters, but you can operate within the VHF, UHF ranges. General, you can do all around the HF spectrum, but I don't know anything about extra level amateur radio operators.
Yeah, I don't know that much about it either, but I would think that you know, probably more bands and maybe even more power. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how all that works.
Yeah, I'm just like, thank goodness let's see, what am I thinking? That the Europeans, including like the Brits and all throughout Europe, I think once you take the test and you pass it, you can do anything you want. You can go into HF, VHF, UHF, whatever, but not here. You gotta like move on up.
Yeah, cool, excellent. Well, you know, yeah, you know, it's hard to understand exactly why the rules would be different, but yeah, that's how it goes, I guess, for sure. All right. Well, anyway, so there is this new, well, and as I said, it's not new, but there is sort of a follow-on to IRAF, and it's all based on a language called Python, which you may have heard of. Python, I was first exposed.
Everybody should know Python if you're going to be in Linux.
Yeah. So my first exposure to
everybody should know C and Perl and Java.
Yeah. Python is great.
And maybe support that faucet water.
All right, sounds good. So yeah. So I think I was first exposed to Python back in the mid '90s when it first came out, and it's really great. It is definitely a very structured language, but it's extremely flexible and really great. And actually, after that first project, I I really sort of dropped off of the Python train, right? Didn't really have a need for it. I'm primarily a C programmer, so most of the things that I do are in C, and if I have to do anything quick, I'll jump onto Perl. But I guess Perl is sort of on its way out too. I think
Just like, yeah. So Java and Perl's it's phasing out.
I don't know about Java. I think Java is still very much around, but I think I recently heard that Perl is sort of on its way out. There's all kinds of languages, right? But Python actually has either all or most of the functionality of Perl anyway.
Yeah.
It's great.
Now, just out of my curiosity, you probably may have also heard about Qt, right?
I've heard of Qt. I've never seen it or looked at it or anything at all. So we have a kitty in the
if you were ever were off to do get a software-defined radio and you get to QRX, you're actually using Qt.
Cool. Very, very good.
Okay. I like Java. I drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah. She's talking to you, Tim.
Uh-oh.
Who's that?
Yeah, I see that black cat, that black Halloween.
Black kitty.
Yay. Does she have an accent too, Tim?
Apple script and basis is all he done, said Patrick.
Yeah, cool. Anyway, so this package...
I'm a little bit curious about BASIC if they're still around, but it's usually not around today.
BASIC? Oh yeah, I think there are lots of flavors of BASIC, and as far as I know, those are still around too. Actually, BASIC is really fantastic. Yeah, and that was the first language I ever learned. Was BASIC. So
I heard it's like the same thing you're using the graphics calculator for anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so these folks have developed an open source project called AstroPy, AstroPy, and it actually integrates a lot of the IRAF functionality into it, right? And it's accessible to anyone on practically any platform, right? You can run this on Windows, on Mac, and Linux, right? So that makes it very, very accessible to students and all people, right? So that is really, really great. So that's sort of, I'm hoping that if I provide the access to the data, right, and I provide some suggestions in terms of projects to be done, and I provide a software platform, either already built tools or just on the AstroPy libraries, people can build their own tools and do their own work. So I think with those
how
three...
much do you know everything about CPAN, which is like the Perl module manager, and PIP, which is Python package management?
I don't know enough about either of those yet, but yeah, I've you know,
What about like Node.js and NPM?
I've heard of those things. I haven't really worked with those much either. So yeah, there's like I was just going to say, I've just jumped onto yet again another new learning curve, well, here I'm gonna share my screen here on this, and we can just sort of briefly look at AstroPy. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go over here. So there it is. AstroPy.org is the site. I guess I can post that on the chat here too, really quick. Sammy Boo. We have a cat.
The one that I use to get like I got one via pip. It's called Streamlink. You'll be able to do YouTube and Twitch, and with BLC and stuff. It's a little helper tool for BLC.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, so I've just sort of jumped onto this learning curve, but yeah, it's pretty awesome. They've got you know sort of the basic support for various data structures and file I/O. I hear a doggy barking somewhere.
That's probably Bandit.
But it handles FITS files, which is exactly what I need, and it's got a bunch of other things here. The WCS stuff that allows you to transform the XY positions within an image to right ascension and declination, right? So that's extremely important. So I haven't really gotten into this much, but this looks really great, right? It's got all sort of the basic tools, and then on top of that, right, there are these affiliated packages, right, which are Python packages that you can import and use right along with everything else. And at least the ones that I noticed are going to be extremely helpful in my work is CCD proc.
I think Tim's about to leave early so he can be with his wife to go to her dentist.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I've got to leave, guys. My apologies.
All right, Tim. You take care. Thanks for coming in.
Bye, Tim.
Take care, you all. Yeah. Have a good laugh, and have a good week ahead, and hopefully see you all soon.
Absolutely. All right.
All the very best.
Tim.
Yep. See you later.
Good night for now. Take care. Bye-bye, all.
Bye.
Bye.
Anyway, so this is going to help a lot here. This will actually do the basic.
Yeah, I gotta go too.
All right, Patrick. You take care.
Take care, Patrick.
Later. See you later.
Okay. Yep. You betcha. Bye.
Well, I guess
Anyways,
it's just you and me.
Yeah, it's just you and I. Anyway, so this CCD proc is actually just like IRAF's CCD proc, except of course, it's a Python thing, and you can remove cosmic rays. You can subtract your biases and your darks. You can do flat correction. You can do everything in one step if you want. So yeah, converting your raw data to scientifically valid data is all here, right? Awesome, right? It's all in this little toolbox here, right? So that's very, very cool. So that was.
So are you like getting on a ball with that, or not just yet?
Just begun the process. Yeah. So it's definitely going to be a little.
I think you just lagged out a little bit.
What's that?
Are you like getting there, or what?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I've just jumped onto the train, so it's going to be a little while, but and yeah, I've got to refamiliarize myself with Python, because yeah, I haven't really done much with Python in quite a while, so I've got to get back into that mode as well. But as you can see here, there's lots of packages, lots and lots of packages here, to do various relatively, specific things. The other one that I think I'm going to be particularly interested in is this one down here called photutils, which of course does all the photometric stuff. So yeah, I think this is really, really great. And the really, really cool thing is that anybody has access to this stuff. It's modern, it's up to date, it'll run on all platforms. So yeah, I think.
Now here's another question: If they recommend you to do, hey, Ron from Earth Radio.
Hello.
Hey there,
right.
Mr. Earth Radio.
A little bit late, but I'm here.
Hey. How's everything going over there?
It's a surprise.
Yeah, it's going good, going good.
Surprise, surprise. Ron, is there a chance that you can turn down a little bit of the background?
Yeah, let me get the TV down. Hold on.
Okay.
There you go. That might help.
That might help.
And Ron failed a prediction test again on the prices right on that showcase. Thought it was a double overbid, but one did overbid, but the other one won.
Oh yeah. On the Price is Right today. Yep.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a telescope at your 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, is there a? I want to. Let's see. There it is. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah,
and
right
I'd like
here.
to welcome Astro Live Channel in the chat.
Hey there, Astro Live Channel. Nice to see you in the chat as well.
Now, of course, I have weather that I am not able to use this scope outside. It is now minus. Let me see. I think it was -8 last I checked.
Oh, geez.
Oh no, it's 5 degrees right now, but with the wind, it's probably about -10.
Ah.
And
yeah.
we've got snow blowing all over the place, so probably not a good idea to have the.
So have you had a clear sky yet to take this thing out?
The sky's been clear kind of a couple of nights, but it's been way too cold and windy.
Yeah.
With the snow blowing around, probably not a good idea to get it out there in that weather like that.
Right, absolutely. Well, and yourself, right?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's-
I'd probably be crazy enough to try it, but it just I don't want to damage my new telescope either.
Yeah, yeah. You know, they'll do okay in the cold. That isn't necessarily a problem. I don't think. I mean, you know, you might have to look at the specs, but yeah, you're probably very, very wise. Just to be patient and you shouldn't be getting these things in the middle of the winter because then you got to wait.
Well, I had to get it now, just because of how the ability was where I was able to do it at the moment.
Yeah,
And
gotcha.
I was not able. I didn't want to have to wait, and I wanted to get it when I had, when I got a dime in my pocket, I have to spend it.
Absolutely.
You know.
Well, that's what it's for. So yeah.
And this
Absolutely.
is, believe it or not, this particular scope is very close to my Ultima 2000 that I had. If not, it's an upgrade more or less of what I had before.
Nice,
So,
nice. Now that the Ultima's is that a Meade?
No, the Ultima was the Celestron Ultima 2000.
It was okay.
It was a 1999 model actually, and it was actually an anniversary model. So I kind of miss it, but I'm glad I got the upgraded equipment here.
Yeah.
As far as the
Yeah.
the HD Edge ability, which the Ultima was not the HD Edge. But for the time being, the Ultima was the best of its time. You know, it had a better computer system, had a better drive system.
Right.
And
Nice.
that had the 3-star alignment. Once you aligned it to north, and then you had 3-star alignment. And once you had it aligned, with the hand controller, you'd punch in whatever object was in your area, and bam, it went right to it, no problem.
Very cool.
And
Very,
put it right in the
I'm
middle.
looking at Jim's Jupiter videos right now, and that's pretty darn good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the rotating Jupiter with the moons there.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very cool. So Ron, I've got a question. The finder scope at the top there, it looks like it's attached by a wire to.
Yeah, that goes to the auxiliary input. Let me hold on.
So is that a camera on the?
This is the Star Sense, what they call a Star Sense.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and actually, let me bring the mic down. Now you can hear me. Now you can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now here's the computer, the hand controller, which runs the Star Sense, and then got the 2 connections here, the jacks.
Right.
Now, of course, this is your focuser here.
Yep.
That's to adjust your mirror, I guess, if you have to. The red dot finder over here.
Yep.
Which I like these really well. Really much easier to find the stars. But what this does is once you have it aligned, it takes pictures of your. It's like almost like a not really GPS, but it kind of works that way with the computer.
Is it like a guide? Is it like a guide scope?
It's not a guide. No, it's not a guider.
Okay.
What it does is it helps you with the alignment process overall. So once you have it aligned and it recognizes the sky, then it'll be much better to find the object that you're looking for.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's that allows you to sort of automatically sky align.
Yes.
Okay, so it can actually see the stars instead of you having to look for them.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Auto alignment is what they mentioned in Star Sense.
Yeah, sweet.
So, but that's once you have it aligned. Of course, you have to align it.
Right.
But from what James D in Australia, he has the same scope, but he doesn't have star sense on it. But he said once the scope is aligned, it does magnificent.
Yeah, nice.
So, and
nice.
so
I want to interrupt the conversation, but Chuck, do you have a recent video lately? You mentioned in the chat, but if you can say it again, I'll check it.
Yeah. So, and it also looks like there's a clutch on the axes there too, yeah?
Yes, you can.
Oh, that's nice.
Like this?
Yeah. Ah. See, mine doesn't have that.
Oh, okay.
So,
you have the old...
No, I mean, the only way that I can move mine is to plug it in and turn it on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Chuck, if you can tell me what is your latest video or what your other captures are, I might be able to look at that. I might be able to look at those videos. Just subscribe to you, Chuck, as well.
This is a hand clutch to adjust where the scope is sitting on the arm.
Yeah.
So you have to slide it back. It might have to be adjusted for balancing yet. I think it's a little front heavy.
Yeah. Well, that you definitely want to do, right?
Yeah.
You definitely want to balance it, just to, make sure the motors aren't working too hard.
Right. But as far as what I could tell on all the pictures, it looked like it was in the right spot.
Cool. Well, yeah,
There you go.
Yay! I can see myself.
Now, what's interesting is this has what they have, Hyper Star. They used to call it Fast Star in the Ultima 2000 days. Yeah. Now, this is $1,000 camera if I wanted to change it out. The lens. Right. The lens part. If I wanted to change it from f13 to f2, for instance. Right. But the views on Jupiter would be incredible.
Yeah, remember now, Chuck, it's the M42.
Yeah. Well, that allows you to have a nice wide field of view, right?
Yeah. So I like this, and you can see how it's not quite too like on the old style mirror. I don't know if you can see the mirror very well.
Yeah.
Okay. The old style mirror was more concave, right? Like if you looked at your mirror, for instance, on your orange scope there, it's gonna have, that bevel on it, Right. Where this is more flat. The mirror is actually more flat. That's why it has that edge, HD. That's why they call it the HD edge, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Because it actually is more flat than what your mirror is.
Yeah. Huh.
Even your little 6-inch, if you looked at that, you see the.
All right, these are like bowls. Yeah.
Yeah, and and that's just the way they made them then. Right. I understand that. Technology is way better how they made this one here. But I mean, I paid for it too, so.
Absolutely. But
well worth it. Let's see, 2,000 millimeter f. What is that? F10, I think it says.
Mm-hmm.
F10, I think.
Right.
If I can read it. Yeah. 203 millimeter, actually.
Right.
Focal length is 2,000 millimeter. That's right.
Yep.
That would make it an F10. That makes sense.
Sweet.
That actually makes sense now.
It actually makes sense.
Yeah. Now to line this thing up, they should make this easier.
Yeah, I've got the same problem on mine too. It's a royal pain, but after you do it a few times, you figure it out, and it's like, okay.
Right.
So yeah, you just have to fiddle with it a little bit, and you'll get it, of course. So.
First time I tried to do this, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. After I figured out how to put everything together too.
Right. Yeah, I sort of like the finder scope on there. I mean, you definitely need a finder scope, right? And what they've done down here, you know, is sort of a cheap version of like a Telrad, right? You know, the Telrad is pretty nice, you know, but this puts a little red spot.
So, Chuck Dackle, that was a great video. I could use a little bit more work with the audio paint for sure, but that's good.
Cool. Excellent. Excellent.
And now it don't want to go back on now.
No,
of course
it
not.
doesn't. It doesn't
So it won't go back on then.
want to. You've got to stick your tongue out the right way.
Right. Got to hold your mouth right, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you have to say the right kinds of words.
That's right.
Right?
But I'm trying not to cuss on your stream, though.
Oh my gosh, I hate 4-letter words, but they're not amen.
If it was my stream, then I can cuss all I want. But
well, you know, 4-letter words are my some of my least favorite and most favorite. So they're, you know, it just sort of depends, I guess.
Did you know some of the words you probably hear everywhere, you're actually are using it in a wrong way and stuff?
Yeah. And then I got a solar filter for this too, Cosmic.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
So when it does break, when the snow melts and I can actually get it out in the daytime and take a look at the sun, that's going to be fun. That's
going to be nice.
So,
now, is that just a wideband solar filter? Or is it like an H alpha or?
It's the one that they sold with this one here. So
gotcha.
So,
it's probably just wideband, right?
Yeah.
It just knocks.
It was
the light down.
When I looked at the sun through the filter itself, it was orange.
Yeah. Okay.
So it wasn't green like the other one that I had.
Yeah. So it's just doing some kind of attenuation. So nice. It's keeping the color and everything.
Oh yeah. Which I thought that was pretty cool when I looked at it like that, and I noticed that, hey, that was different than the old one that we had.
Yeah. Nice.
But no, so I'm excited. I'll be glad when I can finally use it. But I'm waiting. I'm learning all about it. I can actually run it on my phone. I have what they call the Celestron. Celestron Sky Portal.
Wow.
Yeah. So that I can actually run. I can run the scope with that.
Very cool.
So what I do, if I want to, okay, here's what I can do. I got to turn it on. Of course, turn it on, right? Now it's not aligned, so it's not going to be pointing right. But I'll show you what happened. I have to actually connect the phone to that internet. So
now, does this thing use batteries, or can you plug it into the wall?
It has a power adapter, but it is running on batteries right now. It has about a 10-hour lifespan.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be a little bit leery of running that on batteries at least for too long.
Right. Especially in the cold weather, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now what I wanted to do was connect, but I don't know if it'll connect that way because usually it has trouble communicating. Wait, no, it did this time. Holy cow.
Well, it sings a little song and everything. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, now what I want to do is I wanted to search for. Okay, then I just wanted to show you, watch it work, okay?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go ahead and look for, let's just look for anything if it'll go there.
Is there a way just to make it move up and down and left and right?
Yeah. Now, of course, it's not lined up, so it's not going to find it correctly.
Yeah.
But
there it goes.
If it was lined up correctly, then it would definitely find it.
Yeah. Sweet.
Obviously, it's pointing in the wrong direction for that.
Right. Yeah.
But let's see if I can find another object. So I can just type in the object.
Yeah.
And then hit search, and then hit go to.
Yep.
And then there it goes. Now that will almost be in the right. No, not quite. It should be over the other direction, but no. Well, no, I don't think so.
Cool.
But anyway, then it shows you when it gets lined up. It'll show you in the screen. Of course, if it was all aligned, it would be pointing in the right direction.
Right.
Okay, so, but that shows you the Pleiades right in the middle of the scope where it should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not aligned now, so it's not going to be doing that.
Yeah.
So, but then now, if I wanted to move it here, you got move it.
Wow.
Move it this way. Move that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Move it up and down. Like that.
And it shows you where it's supposed to be, at least pointing in the sky. So
if it's lined up, it shows you the exact what you're looking at. So
yeah, nice. So
that's
what is your intended use of this telescope?
I would like to get into the of course my viewing time is limited due to my cold weather that I have of 6 months, but I would like to get into some of the photography stuff, which I was looking at a couple of camera ideas that they have, and pretty interesting stuff they have for the ability that with the equipment they have for this thing. And it's not that expensive. They have like about a $300 camera set with a 7-inch screen. You can mount everything right to the telescope, and you can look at the screen as the camera is taking pictures through the telescope.
Nice.
And so it's like you're looking right at it. But that's like for a viewing party, like if you have 10 people that want to see it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And then be like looking at your computer monitor right here, you know? And so that's kind of neat, because that's how they're showing it on the Celestron site. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Do you think there's like a particular kind of object you might be interested in more than others, or?
In my sky, I have Orion and Pleiades, of course, and Andromeda Galaxy, those kinds.
Gotcha.
And in later summer, I think we have the Trifid Nebula, or however you say it. And then M20, which is farther south.
Right.
But it's viewable, though, in the late summer, you know, most of the time, I think.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I wanted to see something like that. And, of course, the planets, you know, as they become available.
Right.
And, again, the only problem is with the weather, a little bit limited as to my clear nights and everything. But when it is clear and it's warm, then there you have it. I got it.
Very nice. Very cool. So yeah, it looks like you're going to be going for a large variety of objects. So yeah.
I'll be searching and trying to get a feel for what I want to get into, you know. And before, when I first had that other scope, it was like, wow, this is so cool. I really never had a chance to really get to know it, you know. And then through life experiences, things happen and you have to start over, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And so here I am. I'm back at that starting over point.
Nice. Nice.
So, but hey, we got to talk about intro song for Venus and Mars, or Vixen.
Okay.
You've seen her on your chat, I think.
Yes.
She does the tarot reading things. Okay, like what Twin Crow is doing.
Right.
I don't know what happened with Twin Crow exactly. I just know that there was some fallout there that I have no clue about what that was all about. I'm not going to go into that. I don't.
Yeah.
You know, if you still want to do music for her, that's up to you.
Yeah.
I don't have any hard feelings against her. I just, you know, wish that she would have waited and until we got this thing settled with the situation that we were having, which I think we're at the end of that, and I think we got it pretty well covered. Just a matter of getting it all finalized and getting the situation under control 100%.
Cool. Okay. Yeah,
with Venus now, she does Mondays and Wednesdays she'll do energy, like a nice little fun reading. You know, either she'll share something or she'll come up with her own that she'll actually share from her book that she's writing. Okay. Nice. And then on Fridays she actually does a live reading on the air. So like she did mine last week. She did Amanda's. If you know Amanda, she did Amanda's the week before mine, and if she's gonna do Bill's, producer Bill, she's gonna do this Friday.
Okay.
So, but like I don't know, maybe get together with Venus and find out what kind of music she might like. And what might fit.
Yeah, have her send me an email.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. You've got that, you know, so feel free to pass that on to her.
Okay.
And
she's good people.
Good.
A little bit. Sometimes you might think of her as off color or off key or.
Those are my favorite kind of people.
Who isn't though, right?
That's right. That's right. Show me the average person, right?
I love her for that because she's honest about what she's doing, and she has a good heart, you know, and she's right there with what she wants to. She wants to help people, and she hasn't been in it for a while, so she's getting again. She's like starting over in the whole thing too, you know, kind of getting back into the internet thing and the YouTube thing and everything like that. So my offer for her to be on the radio was a perfect gateway for that to get used to, you know.
Yeah, sounds great.
You know, and then you and I are gonna have to have another interview too and find out what's going on in your life again.
Yeah.
And we'll have another radio interview, and we'll talk about things and the new astronomy things that happen, like Dragon Crew. You know,
absolutely.
That was a pretty incredible launch that I watched on Bill's channel. You know, and then I didn't see it dock, but everything went well, and just the incredible returning the stages to the planet Earth onto a landing platform is incredible.
Yeah,
they got the new system. You know, before it would just you'd lose them or they'd go in the ocean somewhere. You had to fish them out, but they land on the platform. That's incredible when you think about that.
Right. Well, you know, the capsule that's up there now, they are actually going to land that in the water. That's the plan.
Okay.
So yeah, you know, they're still going to do, you know, a water landing, but apparently, you know, the materials that they use and you know, the process that they're going to use, you know, to refurbish it, you know, they'll be able to use it again. And in fact, that particular one is going to be used next in the test with the abort system, right? You know, so the next test they're going to do probably in a few months, is actually launch, you know, the same launch, but at some point they're actually going to do an abort, and make sure, you know, that all works, right? You want to make sure that works.
I'd like to welcome James Dugan in the chat.
Hey there, James.
He's the one that's the one that has the other scope like mine.
Yeah, very cool.
But it's not the he doesn't have the star sense, but he has the same scope and everything. Yeah.
Nice.
So he was helping me.
I think one of the other regulars here, Atta, I think she has an evolution as well.
Okay, good.
So yeah, I think she's got it on an equatorial wedge, though, if I remember right.
Okay.
So you know,
That might be better for astronomy. I mean, for the photo, right?
Yeah, you know, these days it doesn't particularly matter.
Okay.
You know, as long as the motors work, you know, the advantage to having a wedge is that you only have to move one motor to track, right?
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know, what you've got there and what I've got here, you know, both motors have to move at the same time.
Yeah.
So you know, does that cause any kind of problem? No.
No. Okay.
Not really. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, great stuff, and yeah, and then you know, I think they're talking like 6 months, 7 months or so, getting some people up there. So you know, it's like, well, yay, you know, we have more choice,
Yeah.
right? Right now there is one choice, which, you know, I mean, at least we have only one, right? But you know, to have two choices, and then is it I think it's Boeing, right? They're going to be testing their system, I think relatively soon. I haven't heard anything there at all. But yeah, you know, potentially we're going to have three choices.
I just hope that the competition isn't to where people are losing their lives over the competition. I hope that everyone can work together and be on the same page as the goal. The goal is to get into space and to be able to be there. You know, not to fight against each other, not to be the first. Not you know, our goal is to get there, you know, as a human race, not as any kind of, you know, not as Chinese, not as American, not as Russian. We're trying to get there as a human race. Okay?
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, I would absolutely love to see lots of cooperation. And yeah, I mean, space is big, right? There doesn't need to be any competition whatsoever.
Exactly, and like
space is huge.
And on our YouTube streams and on radio shows, you know, it's a community, not a competition.
Oh yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
And so when we can learn that, and we can all, you know, just share time, we can go to different places and watch different people, and if we don't catch them live, we can catch a recording of it or whatever the situation is.
That's right.
You know, and then, you know, no big deal, you know. And I think some of the problem that we have today is with the competition. People think it's a competition. The internet's pretty darn big, just like space is big. You know?
It's big. It's
I mean,
big.
The internet's pretty big, and so, you know, let's enjoy it all together and have fun and enjoy it. You know,
absolutely.
And if anyone has a talent they want to share, you know, let us know to have channels. You know, and you know, get it out there. You know.
Yeah.
And share it. You know.
Yep. Yeah. And you know, that's exactly why, you know, this kind of thing is going on now, because, you know, I've got a passion and I love to share it, right? And you know, like I've said, you know, I mean, this kind of thing I've been doing for years and years and years, right? I sit at this desk and I look at all kinds of astronomical things in the evening, right? So for me, it's extremely easy to you know, turn on a camera and talk out loud, you know, for a short time every day. It's super easy, right?
And you can act goofy if you want. Nobody
and you can just be as goofy and stupid as you want, right? And you know, you know, and that is definitely one of the really important things, right? Is to be yourself, right?
Yep.
And you know, the only thing, like I say, you know, the only thing that I do differently with this live stream is that I'm actually talking out loud, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, almost exactly, you know, the same thoughts go through my head regardless, right?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you know, I'm just sort of reading the script, right?
Now, I have
So
I have a good question for you. A thought that I asked Keith from P&K. I asked him, but I don't think he answered the question, or I missed it. But question I have for you, and maybe for anyone else that might want to answer that question, is if you had an opportunity to be on the moon, say like it was a regular thing, you could just be on the moon, and you could have your telescope and you could be observing. Would you want to be on the far side of the moon or be on the Earth side? For the observing purpose, not because it's cold or warm or whatever. For the observing purpose, would you want to be on the?
You know, I've recently been giving this a lot of thought because I want to put an observatory on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put a telescope on the moon, you know, what I'm suggesting isn't anything new, and in fact, it's being done right now. You know, the Chinese have a telescope up there right now. It's been running for 4 or 5 years, really, really well, and there was a project that was very, very well thought out and planned in the early 1990s called LUT, the Lunar Ultraviolet Telescope Experiment, and this was to be a 1 meter telescope that was stationary, right? It's called a transit telescope. So it was just going to look at a very, very narrow band of the sky, the most important thing, right, was to make a science case for this. Why do it, right? And so far, the only science case that I've found, because you can put a telescope in orbit, right, and get all the ultraviolet, all the infrared, resolution is really, really, really good, all of that, right? But the one thing that you gain by having a telescope on the moon is you can look at things for a long period of time, right? Up to 12 or 13 days at a time, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And that is something that you can't do on Earth or in orbit at all, right? Because you're moving.
Right? Yeah, orbit. You're always waiting for it to pass by again and catch it. Oh, no.
Yeah. But when you're sitting on the moon, the moon rotates once every 27 days, right? So it's really, 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 really slow, right? So you can, sit on an object for days at a time, right? So that is an interesting advantage isn't being done now, but I think should be taken advantage of for sure. But that is really the only advantage. It doesn't really matter. I mean, if you sort of ignore the temperature extremes, which we now have a lot of data on, it doesn't particularly matter if you're on the near side or the far side. There's advantages to being on the near side because you can always communicate, right? There's also advantages, to putting these kinds of instruments at the poles where the temperature extremes aren't as much. So, and in fact, there's a group, it's called the International Lunar Observatory Association. They're actually going to be landing a telescope on the moon at the South Pole, hopefully in the next couple of years or so. Okay. They're actually going to hitch a ride with Moon Express. And
what would they see from that South Pole or from the North Pole? What would they see?
They would see the entire sky.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got what you're saying. Yeah, because you see at least down to whatever the degree is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you're exactly right. I'll correct myself a little bit. You'll see half the entire sky.
On each pole, I got you.
On each pole, yeah.
So if they put one on the north and the south, then they can get the whole sky.
You could do that. You could do that, and that's part of my master plan.
Now that is where I would want to be then. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'd want to be on the North Pole or the South Pole. Interesting.
Yeah. Either one is okay by me.
Yeah. Because see, then actually from that point you can still see the Earth too at that point.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's actually one of the great things that I want to see is I want to see a lunar eclipse from the moon. Right? I think that would be absolutely epic.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely epic.
And you'd be in the shadow.
You'd be in the shadow of the Earth.
Yeah.
But when you look at the Earth, right, it's actually 2 degrees across. So it's 16 times the size of the full moon, right? So it's this huge black disk. You can probably see some of the city lights, right? And then this bright red, sunset red ring all the way around.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's all the sunsets and sunrises of the entire planet.
Wow.
Right? Seen at the same time. And it'd be this
cool.
intensely red, yellow, blue ring all the way around the Earth. And I think that would be an epic view.
But now where would you have to be on the moon to see that view?
Anywhere
on that side. Okay.
Anywhere on that side. Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep. Anywhere. Yep.
All right. Huh. That would be something to see.
So yeah, I want to do that, and I'm actually I've sort of in the process of contacting some companies who might help design it.
Okay.
So you have to design it first. There isn't anything new, right? There isn't anything new that has to be done. It's just sort of a matter of putting all the pieces together.
And getting the right person to go with it. Yeah.
Lots of details. I mean, I'm not saying, that's going to be easy or anything. It's just that we don't have to invent anything new.
Right.
We just have to find all the right pieces.
What you do have to do is put a really strong antenna up there, and you make sure Earth radio is up there.
That's it.
Okay, then you put Earth radio up there, and then everybody can hear it.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember? I think I told you this. Did I tell you this before about Animaniacs? Remember Animaniacs? The cartoon Animaniacs?
Name rings a bell. I don't.
They had 2 mice that would Pinky and the Brain. Pinky would always ask Brain, "What are you gonna do tonight, Brain?" And of course, Brain would always say, "Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world."
Is that part of the master plan?
Yeah, that's the master plan. And then actually, Brain was almost to the point where he had everybody out brainwashed. He was on the radio. He had everyone brainwashed and everything, and they got him. He had to go back to the lab. He had to get back to the lab before daylight.
Back into the bottle, huh?
Yeah, back into the cage. Yeah. So then the scientists would come back, and the mice would be in their cage like nothing happened.
That's pretty cool.
So every show that would be like that. They'd be almost there, and then they get busted.
Very cool. Very cool.
Pinky in the Brain, Animaniacs.
Pinky in the Brain. I guess I'll have to check them out. Yeah, that name rings a bell, but no, that I think I
just watch it one time and you'll see where I'm talking about.
All right,
try to take over the world.
Yeah, very, very cool. All right, well, I'm noticing that it's half past the hour, so I think it's about time to get on out of here.
I kept you a little bit later. Thank you for staying on late.
No, I don't pay any attention to those kinds of things until I look up and it's like, oh, okay, it's getting a little late. So,
they were talking about having low Earth orbiting telescopes, OBT.
Yeah.
I think if I keep on going up, I think there is a trivia that Tom and Scott are. On this day in 1975, the rings of Jupiter were discovered by the Voyager 1 space probe.
See, look, I got lights on my headphones.
Very cool. Yeah, I think Bobby did too. Bobby, don't you have a pair of headphones that have lights on them?
I do, but with my Chrome OS size still in the frets, I'm just like not using it as a now and stuff. Maybe when Chrome OS does another update and it's available on my Chromebook, I might see if they fix the audio and stuff. So I got the Hangouts app on the Android side, but it will not interlink. But I think the Hangouts on there will not interlink with the Hangouts on there and stuff.
And I just got the update on the Windows 10. What a piece of crap, I tell you.
Hey, just to add to Tom's piece of trivia, here's another little piece. The only way that you can actually see, I believe this is true. Maybe it's not true anymore. But the way that they were able to detect the rings around Jupiter was actually when Voyager 1 passed by Jupiter and looked back, right? Mm-hmm. And the rings were actually backlit.
Yeah. I remember that.
By the sun. Yeah.
They had a shot. I think they had a shot like that in one of the magazines. I can't remember.
Yes. Yes. So that happened back in 1979. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, did that guy ever get? Somebody ordered Sky and telescopes. I'm wondering if they ever got it.
Oh, Atta. Yeah. We'll have to check in with her when she comes.
I know it's about a 6 week before when you sign up, but it'd be about 6 weeks before you got it.
Yeah. I think she said that she'd signed up for it in November or December and hadn't gotten anything yet. So
she'll get it. She'll get the back issues, and then she'll get the whole. She'll get it every month from then on. And but that is one of the best magazines to ever get it. Has Sky and Telescopes. I collected them for 10 years.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
They have a lot of information that you can use. Not just on astronomy, on projects, with different things, all kinds of stuff on dealing with astronomy and telescopes and things like that. Not so heavily science that you can't figure it out, like some of the magazines might be. But Sky and Telescopes is more for the beginner or the intermediate type level, I think.
Yep.
So really, really well written, really good magazine to get. So
highly recommended.
I hope that she gets it. I hope she gets it and she enjoys it. And just renew it each year. I'd say renew it early. get it paid for early. That way it just keeps on coming. You don't miss a month or nothing.
Yep, absolutely. Patrick, I fully endorse that. ADL live from the moon. Yes.
There you go.
That's, and actually, this is sort of going to be the last thing I'm going to say about it. You know, I mean, we want to have a constant presence on the moon, right? We want to have activity up there, and one of the things that is sort of, you know, baffling everybody is like, why go? You know, why do it?
Why
right?
not? Why not?
Well, you know, I've got a reason, right? I mean, I think I've got a nice, scientifically valid reason to you know, put at least one observatory up there, and you know, that will establish a active presence on the moon. It'll be a destination, right?
Or gold.
Absolutely.
Gold.
There's a lot of dirt up there. A lot of dirt. All right, everybody. I'm going to get out of here for
Thanks,
now.
Man. Bobby,
Take
see you
care.
next time.
Yeah. So.
And everyone in chat.
Yep. Have a great time. Have a great evening. A great day. Thanks for coming in. Let's. I'm going to get in here again. Oh, you know, there's a very, very good chance. I'd say maybe a 70-30 chance right now that tomorrow's live stream is probably going to be canceled, but I will let you know.
Okay.
There's a meeting that I sort of kind of want to go to, but I don't like going to meetings. So
you got to get dressed up.
Well, yeah, you know, yeah. Well, I've got to get dressed. So. So there's a possibility that you know, the live stream isn't going to happen, but I will let you know one way or another. So
cool.
So all right, everybody.
All right.
Peace, cheers, and all that. I will see you on the spin. See you later.
See you
Bye.
next time.